Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome into another edition of the Right Side of Campus. It is Thursday. What is it, Wednesday or Thursday? It's Wednesday,
Sheesh.
October 9th, 2019. Listen, Donnie, man, when you don't fucking – I don't
when there's football on, you
Yeah.
question the day. You question it's a Wednesday. You should be
Yeah,
Thursday,
I don't even
right? Yeah.
It felt like Thursday to me, I guess. I don't know. But it's October 9th, 2019. We are headed into yet another week of football. And we actually have football on tonight, little college football. We'll get to that. UL Lafayette and Appalachian State. We also have 2 Game 5s in the MLB. And, Donnie, I do have opinions on these games, which I'll get to, and we'll get to in just a little bit. We got some NFL buy or sell, which, Donnie, you do not know the question. I've not shared these. Now, these are up to the minute. We'll also talk about maybe some trade candidates, Donnie, and where they might end up. We'll talk look ahead for this week's games. Got some damning info from Deshaun Jackson's camp and others as well. And also, Donnie, today we'll finally share the future that you need to be on to be college basketball. It's time to root this one in as a group. I'm excited to talk about that one as well. So, Donnie, let's get into it. And before we get into the headlines, I want to bring something up. Last night, usually on these kind of nights, I, Periscope, and I did that, and I felt like, you know what, I'm going to watch a movie. And I'm going to find a movie that I've never seen before, or I had seen so many years ago that I'd not seen in forever. And, Donnie, you know what I watched?
What?
Super Size Me.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm going to tell you something. There's not been many times in my life where, because I'm 30 now, right, Donnie? I'm not 23 or 24, okay? And for anyone that doesn't know about me, I do not drink or smoke. I've never done any of it. I've never even tried marijuana. I don't do any of that stuff. I really don't beat my body up from that scenario. I've never done drugs. I've never done anything wrong. And then I thought about my diet, and I said, okay, well, to eat McDonald's once is repulsive. I haven't eaten McDonald's, Donnie, since I was a little toddler, probably. And to be really honest, and I mean this, God strike me if I'm lying, I can't remember the last time I had any fast food.
I love fast food. I love it.
I've never had Taco Bell. I've never had any Wendy's. I don't eat it. I just don't eat it. It's not I don't like that kind of food. I don't eat ice cream, Donnie. I don't eat, bacon. I don't eat pork. I don't eat bad. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, something's going on with me because I shouldn't be a big guy. I just shouldn't. I don't eat that bad. I eat a lot of salad.
Dad's not a big guy. Mom's not a big guy or girl.
No. Yeah, you know my family.
Yeah.
I mean, my whole family is in super shape.
Yeah.
My sister is she can run a marathon.
Yeah.
My younger brother is an ox. I mean, my mother and father are very in good shape. And so I look at myself and I say, well, there's got to be something wrong here because I drink 2 of these a day, Donnie. You see these here? 2 of them. I don't eat many sweets. So I watched that movie last night. I'm thinking, you know what? I got to go get checked out because I feel like there's something going on inside of me that I need to fix because I'm not gaining weight, but like I don't think I should be overweight personally. Like I don't know what it is, but what an eye-opening documentary, Donnie, really, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it is very eye-opening documentary because you could basically what he was doing, if you do it for long enough, you actually will kill yourself on that diet that he was doing, which is amazing that somebody would even want to go through that or put their body to the test in a situation like that. But Juan White does point out, Jeff, French toast isn't that good.
Which is, but naturally, leave it to him to bring up the negative. And that's what he does. I mean, he's never positive about anything. But I don't eat, actually, and this is another true story. And my mother will strike dead if I'm lying here.
Yeah.
I love French toast. I don't cook it. I don't make it. I just love it. When I have it, it's very good. It's an underrated food. Like a really underrated food.
Yep.
And Donnie, occasionally on Periscope, people will ask me those kind of questions like, hey, what would you eat if you could eat it for every day? And honestly, I could eat a piece of French toast every day, probably.
Delicious. Same as pizza for me. Yeah. I could do the same thing.
Pizza's another one.
Give me a soft pretzel. I can eat a soft pretzel every single day of the week. Yeah.
I'll tell you another underrated food group, Donnie.
What?
Like a sushi. Sorry.
I don't like sushi.
You don't eat? Okay.
No.
See.
Nope.
But Donnie, listen.
But I like fish, though. I like fish. I don't like sushi.
Someday, Donnie. When you come up here I'm going to take you to this place called Sushi One. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get you no raw fish. It's going to be all cooked.
Okay. All right.
Chicken tempura, shrimp tempura. You will love it. I mean,
I don't like the raw fish, but I love fish.
No, like I get smoked salmon, which is raw. I enjoy. They smoke the salmon a little bit, but I like it. A lot of that stuff. But I'll get you the right sushi. Look, if you're eating eel and shit, I get it. You don't like that, but. All right, let's do some comments. We got a lot of people coming in here talking food. We will get the headlines. Just bear with us. Look at that, 50 people already in the show, and we're talking about food. Paul, Nuke, Jukes, Guam White, Taylor, AJN, a lot of people in there. Let's take some food comments. The chicken McGriddle is fire. I wouldn't know. I've never had it, honestly. It's genetics. Well, it's not genetics.
The chicken McGriddle?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
No, I'm a fan of the McGriddle, but I'm not a huge breakfast sandwich guy at fast food stuff, but I will go you up in Lancaster, Jeff. I know you probably have this the really good bagel joints that open up 4 a.m. and you get fresh bagels. I love those bagel sandwiches that way.
Underrated. My girl, my girl, she's Jewish.
Yeah,
right.
Yep.
She loves bagels. I've never had a bagel.
Jesus, you're missing out, man. The stuff they got going on, Jeff. They got French toast bagels. You would die for then.
Yeah, whenever I get like an egg and cheese, I always get a little
get it on the bagel at one of those places, man. You're probably get
that bread
for you.
I don't know.
Oh, delicious.
Donnie, I'll tell you one thing. One thing it's funny, anal about
what
is I want to make sure my digestive system works. That's why I drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
When I do that sort of thing, I want it to feel okay. Knock on wood. So I drink a lot of water. Okay, I don't like a lot of that bread type. Maybe it's genetics. It's not genetics. It's my whole family's in good shape. So
Jeff, people are mystified. You never had a bagel. Even Sean Higgs out here saying, "Unfollow this maniac."
I'm just not into him, to be real with you. People are saying thyroid, maybe. Yeah, I got to get it checked out. I got to go to the doctor. Yeah. It could be a very common issue. So I definitely got to take a look at it. Because Donnie, I tell you what. I don't feel like a big guy. I don't agree with a lot of these big guys on the internet. I don't eat like that. I don't eat, 8,000 donuts. I don't eat a whole pizza.
Donuts. Damn it,
Jeff. Donuts are great.
You should be the same. You should be the guy that pounds donuts and pizza. And we would be best friends for life.
I love pizza. I love pizza. I do the donuts. Occasionally I'll eat them, but it's just too much sugar. I don't want all that. That is just total sugar.
And it's not like you're a big guy and not strong. There's big guys that can't do 3 push-ups. You lift some good weights, man.
No, I'll tell you right now. Yeah. And a lot of people, they don't believe this because they've never seen it. But I'll tell you, when I first went to my trainer, Donnie, my trainer was blown away.
I was surprised when I saw it. Yes.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
I'm real strong. I can bench 300.
I was surprised. I was actually surprised. You're just getting underway and doing that because most people that don't lift, they can't just get on there and throw crazy free weights around.
I'll tell you another thing, Donnie, and this might work for you and a lot of people here. The key to not having back problems
is being not overweight?
Well, not even, because I am.
No, I remember
stretching every day.
Yeah, that's true.
If you stretch, I'm telling you don't even have to do anything crazy. Do 20 push-ups and stretch. That's all you need to do. You will not have back problems. I'm telling you. I do it. And if I don't do it, Donnie, now, I feel decrepit. I need to do it. I don't feel right if I don't stretch. A lot of comments on steak and things like that. How do we eat my steak? How do you eat your steak, Donnie?
I'm a medium well guy, not well done. I don't want blood. I want it just past the point of where it's not bleeding. I
actually love medium well as well. I'm totally in agreement with you. I don't want it charred, burnt, but I like it, very much cooked correctly.
Yeah. My dad, the opposite. My dad's the type of guy where you go to a steakhouse, and I've been to just about every single one of you have, and he will literally fight me. We've eaten thousands of meals together. He will fight me, Jeff, when I say medium well. How are you going to do that? How are you going to do that to the steak? He wants his rare and barely. I don't know. Some people like that. I don't enjoy that at all. I don't.
The thought of listen, Donnie. Some of these people eat it where it just looks raw.
Yes, they call it Pittsburgh style, Jeff. People put it on. Blast it for 30 seconds on one side. Blast it for 30 seconds on the other. Ooh, delicious.
That is nonsense.
I'm out. Yeah, I'm out.
That is complete nonsense. No. Also, if you put ketchup on steak, you're fucking nuts.
Yeah, who does that?
That's
a maniac.
I've seen people do that.
Did you see now there's a commercial out with Patrick Mahomes where he has a giant prime rib and he dumps it's like a next gen stack commercial, and who's calling me a kid or something like that, and he's dumping ketchup on like his prime rib. Disrespectful.
It is so disgusting, that blood on your plate. Like that is, it's like you're eating a fucking body part. It's like you're eating someone's hand. You have blood oozing all out of it. You might see a fingernail with the.
Yeah, I can't and the thing about it, because the steak is a very expensive meat, especially at the high end levels. Yeah, and a lot of times because they'll usually butterfly it for you, but they usually bring it a little bit undercooked on purpose, because the one thing we know with food, Jeff, if you overcook it, you can't bring it back. And I've done that many times. I hate doing that at restaurants, but sometimes they just don't I don't know if we could go this, if he wants it this much. No, I actually want it that much.
I'll tell you another thing. People might think this is crazy. And we're going to get into sports eventually. Donnie, I don't eat anything on my burger.
Now, you get cheese? Now, come on, Jeff. You need the lettuce, tomato, onion, man. We've been through this already.
No, I don't get any of that.
We need lettuce, tomato, and onion on there.
No, I'm beginning, as I get older, Donnie, to dispel of eating as little cheese as possible.
I'm worried about you. Now, I am lactose intolerant, and I still eat ice cream. That's how much of a food maniac I am.
Yeah, I think the last time I ate ice cream, I hadn't hit puberty. That's the last time I had ice cream.
Jesus, what are you? Where did you grow up?
I hate cheese. I have it on things like a pizza for sure, but like I don't want it on a burger. I don't want it on like cheesesteak. It's good in certain things, but I don't like. I'm not running crazy to have cheese. Metabolism is slow. Probably need
metabolism.
To reset. Yeah, sorry. What am I metabolism. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Jeff. I got to see a nutritionist. That is so. Donnie, I'm telling you, man. I'm becoming. I'm just getting into.
Jeff, you're losing followers by the minute in this chat box. Apparently,
I'm telling you, Donnie. I'm getting to the point. Like over the last month, I am becoming obsessed with this stuff. Like eating certain things, not eating certain things. I'm eating organic shit. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know who you are, man. You should be enjoying life with pizzas and everything. Man.
In 6 months, I'm going to be a new big man. You're going to see it because I'm already changing the way I'm doing things. You know what, Donnie? You know what? I'm going to say it right now. I'm sick of being big, man. I'm sick of it. I'm ready to be everything.
Yeah, like you're being big man on campus, and you're not even enjoying the fruits of the labor, like knocking down 8 slices before you go to bed.
Man,
like this is upsetting to me. This is upsetting to me. Yeah, yeah.
I've never done it. I've never done it. I don't do that kind of thing. I know I'm a big guy, but it is not me. I don't do it. I don't eat bad. I don't. It's just something going on inside of me. Yeah. Now I'll tell you what, I love meatballs. That's one thing.
Oh yes, hell yeah. Come on. I like everything you say. I usually say yes to because I love food. But
love meatballs. Yeah. Big fan of meatballs. Big man doesn't drink and ruin steaks. Well, because I don't eat fucking with blood oozing out. Get the hell out of here. Yeah, I don't like cheese. What do you?
Yeah, D from Detroit. I hear a lot of people always saying the apple cider vinegar. Man, you got to take like the spoonful of it in the morning.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah,
fish oil as well. I've heard. Mm-hmm. I'm getting into the CBD stuff, Donnie. I'm taking that. I'm serious. I'm getting into this shit, bro.
I can't do keto, like Brandon says, like because I know keto people like literally melt fat off of them. I can't. I'm a carb guy, man. I can't do it.
I'll tell you another thing about keto, Donnie. I watched you know that guy Vinny from the Jersey Shore?
Yeah, yeah.
He did this.
He was on the dating show. He was talking about that.
Well, no, he did this thing where they came to his house and looked through his fridge.
Yeah.
And he went through like what he eats.
Yeah.
It was fascinating.
Yeah.
Because he's talking about how like people have sweet tooth, right? Yes. And you know what he eats to curb a sweet tooth? Because a sweet tooth can be curbed very quickly.
Go ahead.
You just need a bite or two. He gets some dark chocolate.
Yeah.
Dark chocolate's quite good for you if you get the certain kind.
Yeah.
It's really good stuff. And again, I want to make this clear. It's not that I don't eat cheese. I just don't eat a lot of it on a lot of things. I don't like oozing amounts of cheese. It's just disgusting.
Man. I can't believe this.
No, again, Wally, you're not fucking listening. I eat cheese, just not on burgers and certain things. I like it on a cheesesteak. I'm just going light cheese. I don't want a ton of cheese. You know,
man, this is good.
You know, I need to get my weight down. So
yeah, it's good. Ralph says we'll get the gallon of water. Brendan says we'll get the dark chocolate. You know, Sean Higgs says the dark chocolate. We'll start this whole wave. You know,
no, I love water. I love water. I'm a big Fiji. I love water.
Yeah.
Just my favorite thing. All right, Gotti, let's get into some sports talk here.
Yeah.
We got some morning headlines to get into. And I welcome everyone in. Thanks for checking out the show. Hopefully you didn't come here just for a food talk, even though that wasn't planned. Donnie, we have some headlines to get to. Ben Simmons is in the news, Donnie. He made 3 last night. Let me ask you, is that something you're happy about, or you're just kind of like, wow, well, he should be making them anyway?
No, it's actually corny to me in a way, because yes, was I happy he shot a 3 and made it, but it was very contrived and it wasn't in the rhythm of the offense. And when you're playing Guangzhou Long Foxes or whoever the hell they were playing, shouldn't this be a game in the preseasons when they say, you know what, I'm going to jack up 15 of these and really get in the flow? That showed embarrassment. Like, he's going to show everybody. What did you work? You are an NBA player with analytics, with just knowing the game, how important your offense is. If you shoot 3-pointers per game and you're going to go up there and ham and egg it and knock one down when you're up 40 points because there's 3 seconds to go and that's what you're going to take, that's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, I thought this was weak. I mean, this is typical Ben Simmons. Go out and shoot the basketball. You're playing Donnie, South Philly High School could beat that team last night. I mean, go out and take some shots.
I don't get. That's what I don't understand. Your only goal in the offseason was to work on your jumper in 3. In the preseason, if you go 0 for 75, it doesn't matter. You worked on it. He's not even working on it.
No, I totally agree. A lot of people, Donnie, discussing if you lose weight, your you know what will get bigger. Listen, let me tell you something, cuz I don't need to worry about that.
Yep, I heard you did, Jeff.
I mean, you see my girl, Donnie. You don't need to worry about that. Come on, man. There's a reason why I get the females, and I'm not the best-looking guy in the world. I ain't worried about none of that. All right, let's move on. But, Donnie, this is the big story in Philadelphia today.
Yeah.
2 fans were booted from the stadium for holding Free Hong Kong signs.
You knew it was coming.
Now, keep in mind, these are, Hong Kong, I believe they lived in Hong Kong. I
don't think so. I think I was reading a story where a guy was like in a local band. So he's Asian?
Well, I think the one of the guy was, but the other woman was.
Okay.
She's
I think
Chinese.
The woman was. I think the guy was Caucasian, yeah.
Okay, I can't see the other guy right well. But this is pathetic. I mean, is this what we're going to be now, Donnie? Is this what this league is?
Now, hold on. Now, see, we're going to preface this 2 different ways. So I'm going to put it in my shoes. I'm at the Eagles game. I'm watching. Maybe the Dallas Cowboys made a comment and not sticking up for China. If I have 2 people next to me during the game yelling "Free Hong Kong," I'm handling it myself. Not because I don't want to free Hong Kong, because I want to enjoy the basketball game. But from a PC standpoint, it's bad optics at this time. I get it. But if you're the 2 people or 3 people with your family sitting next to people chanting "Free Hong Kong" during a Sixer game, I'm handling that myself.
But let me ask you, though. Yeah. What if they're not chanting anything? Because from what I understand, they just said something.
No, I don't care. I don't care. But that's I was reading. Because honestly, like, you go to an Eagles game, Jeff, you like Eagles Vikings NFC title game. You got some dude next to you chanting "Free Hong Kong" during the game. He's getting handled. Not because of Hong Kong.
I think for me, I wouldn't want them chanting anything.
If you have a sign, that's fine. You want to do a silent I don't care about that. I care about the people annoying other people around them. That's
I completely agree.
Or if you're holding up, you and your girl go down to the Sixer game, Jeff. You're enjoying it. They're playing the Golden State Warriors. You have a guy in front of you, hold up a sign blocking your view that says "Free Hong Kong," and he won't put it down.
Yeah, look, again, if you're there making you're getting in people's way, you're yelling stuff. I get it. But I don't care if someone has a sign that says "Free Hong Kong." I don't. I mean, I just don't. I don't care if like I said, I don't care if someone comes in and has a free John Gotti. You want whatever. I don't give a shit. You're free to. That's what we have in this country. Right? Free speech, and you can say what you want. Now, again, if you're going to do this and kick people out for this kind of thing, then you should ban all signs, because you're being discriminatory against people with signs. Don't allow signs then. You should.
I'm gonna say it had to have been they were chanting, because then that would just be straight up annoying. But if they weren't chanting and just had signs or like T-shirts on and weren't making like a big fuss, I would agree. I'd say, you know what, you can't throw these guys out.
According to news reports, a pair of fans holding "Free Hong Kong" signs were booted from the game last night. Sam Watts and his wife had attended the game with neon green signs, and they were confiscated by security. They were escorted during the second quarter.
Yeah, but what are the rules, though? Because when you go to a Sixer game, Flyers game, or Eagles game,
they usually check the signs.
Yeah, they check them, but usually people aren't like holding them up like during play, maybe during, you know what I mean? Like there's a whole lot of rigmarole because even back in the vet, you remember like people would make their monster signs and hang them over the overhangs in the end zone. They did away with that in the NFL, but there are some decorum, I guess, that you can use.
What I don't understand about this is by booting them, you make it even more obvious.
Yeah, you do. You make it.
Why not just let it?
Yeah.
Like this is a national story now. Yeah. Why not just not do anything and nobody knows about this?
Yeah, it's horrible time. Like, because again, I don't think they would have been chanting Free Hong Kong if it was like Sixers Wizards, but the fact that it was a team from China was the perfect spot for it.
A lot of picks coming up. We'll get to App State, UL Lafayette. We got baseball tonight, 2 Game 5s as well. We'll get to all that in just a little bit. Let's keep it up, Donnie. Art Briles, Donnie, back in the news. Yeah. And is anyone surprised by listen, Donnie, doesn't Art Briles just seem like this is going to follow him wherever he goes? I mean, whether it's high school, college, Art Briles is in the news again. Keep in mind, Art Briles has not coached in college football in a long time, but he's basically in the news again after his football team, Mount Vernon. Basically, they faced the possibility of forfeiting 5 games after 2 players ruled ineligible. Basically, he was getting players, Donnie, from different areas that were playing for him illegally, I guess.
Yeah, well, this is just, it's not sexual harassment. It doesn't look like it's not, your football team running amok, but you are the head football coach. And trust me, if the kids are like outside of your district, if the kids are cheating on their homework and getting away with it, it's only a matter of time. It's the same pedigree. It might not be the same crime committed, but it's the same thing coming from your position of head football coach. Like, what matters? We win in this Friday night.
Now, keep in mind, Donnie, Mount Vernon is 5-0.
Yeah.
And in their games, they've outscored opponents 233-85.
Yeah.
If they forfeit all those games, they would still have a chance to make the playoffs. So, listen, I mean, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, Donnie, as they say. This is what people like Art Briles do.
Win at all costs. It's like when everywhere Larry Brown goes, fantastic coach, he leaves his team on probation because it's the way they operate, the way they need to get their players in and say, hey, if I get caught, I end up getting caught. But if not, we're going to win some games here.
All right, Donnie, one other story. This isn't really sports related, but I just want to bring it up because it's interesting and funny. Do you know about this story?
No, I do not. I saw Drexel Professor, and as soon as you said don't look it up, I didn't. So okay. I played the game for it.
I'd like to get your reaction to these kind of things. Yep. Okay, so this was reported by it was a big story yesterday. A former Drexel University professor is under investigation after he used almost $190,000 in federal grants at gentlemen's clubs and towards other improper purchases.
Oh, boy.
Drexel, which is in Philadelphia, has agreed to pay the amount to resolve the claims. The person made improper charges for items such as personal iTunes purchases and for goods and services provided by cheerleaders, Club Risque, and Tacconi Club. The purchases were over $189,000, and they happened between a 10-year period.
Yeah. It's like, this is a problem that, like, I actually caught the back end of that story, so I know where it's coming from. But this is such a frequent thing because the human nature, Jeff, and they say, all right, you're going to work at Drexel. Hey, great, you just got this grant. It's going to be for, I don't know, $100,000 a year for the next, let's just say 10 years. So it comes out to be $1 million. Here's your card. You're in control of this. If you need to hire new people, if you need to do anything, and all of a sudden that first year goes by, and maybe you buy yourself like a box of cigars or go out to dinner. Hey, nobody's watching. This is mine. And it compounds itself where nobody's watching but me. And all of a sudden at the end of the grant, I'm like, hey, look, we're going to extend this grant. Let me just see the receipts on what you spend it on. And you get in trouble. This is human nature, man. When you have money that you control, that's not really your money. So many people do that. How many times do we see, Jeff, that, local boys football team, the treasurer stole $22,000 and gambled it away because they were in control of the money and they were the only ones watching.
Well, I saw
local fire department. Yeah.
And where I lived, Donnie, a company, it was like a gas company. They went belly up randomly, like last year.
Yes.
And I saw yesterday that the feds basically booked them on. Basically, they were taking company funds and just paying their own shit with it.
Exactly. So like local volunteer fire department, we got $50,000. Nobody checks on it. Oh my God, we only got $17,000. Well, we did this. So let me see the receipts. And it turns out this dude's taking cruises like on the dime because he's the treasurer and he's in control of it. Happens all the time.
Jukes BSG says cheerleader sounds lit. Listen, let me tell you something about cheerleaders, Jukes. If you actually saw it and knew where it was, you would say, "There's no way in hell this is the best gentleman's club in Philadelphia," because it's literally in a
strip mall,
dingy strip mall next to a Burger King.
Yes,
like it's literally, and it's down in South Philly where it's in South Philly, but it's not really. It's kind of in that
it's on Oregon, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on Oregon Avenue, just below the Walt Whitman Bridge.
Yep.
So it's like. It's South Philly, but there's not really a lot of houses around. It's just like a lot of highways above.
Like you would pull into a convenience store, like, hey, there's a Wawa 7-Eleven. Oh, yeah, there's Cheerleaders Strip Club right there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh. That's so funny.
And Nelson Aguilar, big fan of cheerleaders as well. Jeff almost lost his career. So
yes, a lot of big fans. I know Deshaun Jackson went there when he was signed with Eagles again. According to my sources, Donnie, he took 2 females back to the hotel room. I hope his wife's not.
Jackpot.
What else do we have here? Ralph Annunziata randomly talking about Kourtney and Kim Kardashian. Listen, Kim will always be my number one over everybody. It's just how it works. Let's, Donnie, get into some sports, though. I want to talk quickly about this game tonight in the Fun Belt.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Fun Belt is back. For anyone who doesn't know what the Fun Belt is, it's midweek Sun Belt action. Donnie, this is a great game to get it started. UL Lafayette and Appalachian State, 2 of the best teams in this conference and likely will be the best teams in this conference. I got to tell you, surprised that this line is what it is. Now, it's not that I don't respect App State. I think what Eli Drinkowitz has done is terrific. They have a couple good road wins, even beating UNC on the road. This is a good football team, but I've had a lot of success with UL Lafayette. I've been on them a couple times this year. They're 5-0 against the number. They're at home here. I feel like this number is a little disrespectful. I think they should be a little bit bigger of a favorite. I mean, in fact, Donnie, App State opened as a favorite. I guess maybe I'm missing the point on where I think UL Lafayette's the better team. I'm more inclined to think they can get a stop late in this game. Appalachian State, I like their playmakers, but I think UL Lafayette's run game is just maddening and good. I like the quarterback, Levi Lewis. He's a smart kid. And Appalachian State, if you look at some kind of the off-factor things, Donnie, things maybe you don't look at, but you should look at, here's where this game's going to be decided. First of all, it's on the road for App State. And second of all, Appalachian State is 126th in the country in penalty yards. They're also one of the worst teams in the country in opponent red zone points per attempt. What do we know about UL Lafayette, Donnie? They're good running the football. They're effective. They score the ball. I just think this is kind of a disrespectful line. I'm thinking to me they should be a bigger favorite. I bet them at a pick 'em. I'm very happy with UL Lafayette, and I'll back them here.
Yeah, you know what's interesting about this game, because most people don't really know, like they get all these Louis ULLs and UL Monroe's all mixed up. When you talk about ULL, it's one of those teams, Jeff, that looks like they're an SEC built program because they're in like an SEC type territory down there. Now, the one thing that we like, and what do you like at a college football, Jeff? You want a quarterback that's athletic enough to make plays if the pocket breaks down. Like most teams, you get lucky where they have like one really good running back, maybe the backup's good. They roll 3 hammers out you. And if you want to take a look at like competition, because we see Appalachian State, hey, they won in North Carolina. That's a great win. North Carolina, hey, look, you're going to beat a Power 5 school on their opponent's turf. That's a great win. Mississippi State SEC program where you lost to for ULL. But the games I like to look at, which mean forget Liberty, forget Texas Southern, forget Georgia Southern. I like to zero in right on that Ohio University game, Jeff, because we know out of the MAC, the MAC we're not that good. This team, Ohio U, would compete very well in the Fun Belt Conference. They systematically destroyed. I mean, you're talking about an offense, Jeff, against that team. 285 on the ground, 204 through the air. If you're going to be able to do that and have that matching, I agree with you with ULL. But most people say, wait a second, App State, they're always the best team in the Fun Belt. They're always the team that's going to go, their quarterback's back, their running back's dominant. This is just a system program, and they're going to getting 1 point. I'll take it. I hear you on that, but I think ULL steps up tonight at home. I agree with you.
I'm in on it with you. I think this is also the first game out of North Carolina for App State. They have not.
And just to counter that point real quick, Jeff, Mississippi State game. That's an SEC football program. 164 yards on the ground and 267 in the air. Most teams that go from the Sun Belt and play up in the SEC, 40 yards on the ground, 120 passing. This team's legitimate, man.
Let me tell you something about that game, too. They should have won that game. They were right in that game till the end. You're right. I mean, I've seen Middle Tennessee State out of Conference USA play SEC teams every year.
Yes.
I don't care if it's
Vanderbilt,
Georgia, whoever.
This is the year. Yeah.
They can't move the ball.
Yep.
This ULL team is legit. I like the spot for them.
9 yards a carry, Jeff. 9 yards a carry for Regis. Jesus.
Impressive stuff. Yeah, I'm on ULL. I took the pick 'em. I'm very happy with that.
Yeah.
Should be a great game tonight.
What about the over-under now, Jeff? 70? I mean, look, they can do it, but I don't know. It seems a little high for two teams.
Well, both teams are slow tempo-wise. Could mean explosive plays, though. A lot of good running groups here. Both these teams can run the football.
Yeah.
It's a tough total. Who wins between Miami and Virginia? I think
Miami doesn't turn it over 9 times. They're probably going to win the game, but who the hell knows?
Yeah, that game I couldn't care less about. To be real honest with you, I'm sorry. Let's get to some NFL, Donnie. A couple of updates here as we look ahead. Eagles traveling to Minnesota. Doesn't seem like Deshaun Jackson is just not going to play this year. It just seems like that, doesn't it?
Like he's going to and he'll come back like against like the Cowboys and he'll play like a quarter and he re-aggravated it.
Yeah, this just seems like this is what this Eagles team does. I mean, they have these guys that just can't get healthy. I mean, Jalen Mills has literally been out for since the Super Bowl. I mean, it's really odd how they can't seem to get certain guys healthy, and this seems like one of those nagging issues. Jags, Donnie, they're favored at home against the Saints. You a little surprised by that?
I guess it would be a sharper move, obviously, to take the Jacksonville Jaguars. And you know me, I've ripped Teddy Bridgewater with me and you doing shows for the past 3 weeks. I'm now finally coming around to the tune that, you know what, maybe it was, Jeff, a little bit rusty, coming as the backup, takes you a couple weeks. We saw it with Nick Foles in Philadelphia when he took over for Carson Wentz. Takes you a few weeks to get under the helm, and once you start managing the system and it works for you, it's going full blast. They were great in that last game. Their defenses were great. I don't agree at all with the Jaguars being favored here, Jeff.
I don't either. This is probably the weirdest line of the week, though. Donnie, how many people? I mean, I know Minshew Mania is kind of going and everything, but do you think people are going to kind of say, "Well, the Saints are an underdog here"?
They're heavy. The Saints are a heavy public side, which always you take that little drawback. Like, there's a reason why Jacksonville has been great. Minshew is a legitimate NFL player. I even tweeted earlier this week, which I saw some people actually tweeting today. If Minshew just stays healthy and plays, Jeff, Nick Foles should never see the field because he is going to be the future of that franchise, and he's going to be cheap, and you can move on from Nick Foles, but he's still a rookie. DJ Shark has been amazing at wide. That nice little combo down there to get started with Leonard Fournette in the background in the backfield is good, but the overall scheme between offense and defense, I just think the Saints are a better football team.
I hear you. Definitely one that I'm going to keep my eye on as we move towards the rest of the week. Donnie, Cleveland. They've been in the news. We'll actually have a buy or sell question about Cleveland in just a little bit. But the Browns, do they bounce back? I mean, this is a tough game. But you're getting Seattle. You don't have to go up to Seattle, which is good. Is this a bounce back spot? They need to wake up here.
It's a huge bounce back spot. And yesterday and the day before, Jeff, what do me and you do? Like, we see that and you say, oh my God, they got embarrassed. So our minds think counterclockwise and say, you know what? I think Cleveland might be in a really good spot here coming off, especially with, Seattle Seahawks beating the Rams. But then again, teams coming off that extra little a full bye or a mini bye have done very well this year in pro football. And also when you say, oh, well, Seattle goes outside of Seattle, they're not the same. I'm coming around to the Seattle Seahawks in this football game, Jeff, because what I saw in the past couple of games, all right, they played really well, an all-in game against the Baltimore Ravens. But outside of that, there's a lot of chinks in the armor for Cleveland. And you're getting, again, a Seattle team that's getting a little bit more healthy by the week. Clowney's getting worked into the system. They have good linebacking core, a decent secondary. It's 18% of the people, Jeff, are on Cleveland. Like, oh, my God, home dog, they should be able to get after it. I'm starting to come around in Seattle and be square again on this game.
You're very square this week, Don.
Yes.
Another game that I want to get to. We talked about Atlanta as a over team for the next foreseeable future.
Yeah.
You look at coming in this week, another opponent in Arizona who really works a lot like Houston. In fact, and they throw the ball more. I mean, Arizona and Atlanta are two of the most pass-happy teams in the NFL. Fast tempo. I mean, Arizona is one of the fastest teams in the league. This number continues to go up. Over looks pretty good here.
Yeah, no, I'm on the same wavelength with you. If you get, there's some key injuries in there because if you know what you would really like, if David Johnson plays and is healthy, it's going to open up the passing game. He's been great, Jeff, by the way, catching passes out of the backfield like he's always been. I think the young quarterback Kyler Murray is starting to get comfortable, but even looking at the last game versus Cincinnati, that was a stone cold under, and both teams went ballistic in the fourth quarter. Now, looking at this game, the one thing that we do know, Atlanta really struggles on defense. We get that. You should be able to put up points for Arizona, but also on the opposite side. Last week, hey, look, the defense got blown away for Atlanta, but that offense was still cooking with grease. On offense, I think they'll be able to score points again. No Patrick Peterson back yet for Arizona. That secondary is wide open to be abused. I agree with you. It's hard to try to step in and say, hey, you know what? I think Atlanta's more talented, because I do think Atlanta's more talented, and I think they can win the ball game. But boy, Jeff, pulling the trigger on Atlanta just at this point right now, it's tough to do.
Listen, I have no interest in betting Atlanta at all, but I'm interested in the over.
And by the way, one of the better wide receivers, unheralded wideouts that was working out really well before he got hurt on the last play of the game. If you get Christian Kirk back in the lineup, that really frees up Fitzgerald, and they can move it.
Yeah, no, I really like this spot. Mm-hmm. I think they're a bet on over team, really, till I think the end of the season probably. Yeah. Arizona is the worst red zone defense I've seen. Well, hopefully they don't need to worry about that. They just get a lot of big plays. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, again, I hear you. Donnie, let's do a little buy or sell.
Let's go.
NFL. Sorry. You don't know any of these, so you're being taken out basically with no recollection of what's going on here.
Blindfolded. Yeah.
All right. NFL trade deadline is in 20 days, Donnie, from today.
Yes.
Buy or sell, Jalen Ramsey is a Jag on Halloween.
I'm going to sell, and I think he's going to be moved. I don't think he's going to stay with the Jaguars. And for anybody, and again, we're talking early in the week. Well, I don't have any inside information on this stuff. I'm just reading as I go. Number one, you're an absolute fool if you think Jalen Ramsey does have a back injury. He's playing. He's giving Jacksonville some time. He's trying to really test their patience out, saying, you know what? I'll be the good shoulder. You guys know I'm unhappy. My back hurts. Let's see what happens. So Jacksonville is playing that, passive aggressive. Hey, take all the time you need. Do you want us to? We're going to set up an appointment in Houston. This goes to just so you can fly this guy around. So you know what? He's going to be a pain in the ass. We're going to take him in the other states, and he's going to have to find his way through. And then you see it come out today where he checks out. You don't get any report from the back doctor. Hey, clean bill of health. They're not sharing that at all because his back doesn't hurt. And then, by the way, what does he do today? I'm going to get a little bit of work in on the side today. He's not playing this week. He doesn't ever want to play again for the Jaguars. And if the Jaguars, if this is a real story where he actually has a back injury and somebody offered you 2 first-round picks for your cornerback with a back injury and you don't take it, you need to be kicked out of the league, man. Sell that.
100% agree. I will sell that as well. I have a feeling he's going to be the newest member of Donnie.
The Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep. Number 2, buy or sell, Donnie. Mm-hmm. Dan Quinn is the next NFL coach fired.
I'm going to say, if there's no hotter seat, I guess, left, because obviously making a move on from Gruden in Washington.
I don't know, Donnie, though. Real quick, Freddie Kitchens seems completely lost. He seems like Hugh Jackson.
What did you expect out of Freddie Kitchens, man? Because what
an awful hire.
Yeah, did they just because he's real? It was really cool, Jeff. He's real blustery. He takes command of the press conference, like Rex Ryan. You know what I mean? He's Rex Ryan without even the wins of Rex Ryan.
Because that usually works out, right?
Yeah, exactly. I ain't here to kiss none of these rings from New England. Yeah, you kissed them.
Yeah, you do though.
Yeah.
What do you think about Dan Quinn though?
I think Dan Quinn probably is the next one to get fired, yes. Who else would even be on the hot seat that would be even close? Because you're not going to fire Flores, and you're not going to fire Kingsbury before Quinn.
No. Yeah. It would have been Jay Gruden, but I have to think it's Dan Quinn. That has to be your next.
Yeah, by the way, you're a head coach, instead of looking like a head coach, you wear some big orange pumpkin with a dog face on it as a head. You know what I mean? Do you ever see the hoodie he wears game day? The dog down hoodie with the dog on it. Get a life, man. Come on.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Donnie, we are through basically 5 games in the NFL. Mm-hmm. The Niners have only played 4, but they've only given up 57 points total in 4 games, and they've scored 127. They're 4-0. Buy or sell that at the end of the season, the Niners win the NFC West.
So we're talking NFC West. Obviously, we have the known parties: Seattle Seahawks. We got the Rams. We got the Niners. And then you have the lowly Arizona squad. And again, it's a great question you bring up because why? Because they're going to play each other this weekend. I'll tell you, man, when you look overall at a football team right now and you come into the game, Jeff, you want certain tendencies to work for you. You want a coach that you know is going to dial up an unbelievable game plan, which both of them could do between the Rams and the 49ers. But you know what it comes down to? Both guys have dynamics. Both teams do have some talent. I think the San Francisco 49ers defense is a lot unheralded of what the Rams, Rams this year, and the Rams open up really good. But the one thing, you know what it comes down to? You know who's better? Jimmy Garoppolo is better than Jared Goff, and I think it comes down to that. I'm going to buy the 49ers winning that division, Jeff.
Yeah, plus 155 right now. They're both tied to win that division.
What a fun, Jeff, you talk about like they're going to be playing the Rams twice, going to play Seattle twice. That's an awesome conference to watch in a couple weeks, man.
Keep in mind, Donnie, that conference is terrific. NFC East should be very good with the Eagles and Cowboys. Yeah. The NFC North with all four of those teams. And then the South with Carolina and with New Orleans. New Orleans will probably likely get that done. But great. NFC is very good this year. A lot of good teams, a lot of teams that can win. All right, Donnie, number 4.
Mm-hmm.
Buy or sell, Baker Mayfield is the biggest douchebag in the NFL. Seriously, who's worse? Because Antonio Brown's not in the NFL anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
Beckham's pretty. you have two douchebags on the same team.
No, but actually, because the things I like about or dislike about Odell Beckham aren't his actual personality. Like, I don't mind his personality. He's bubbly. He does commercials. He doesn't really act the fool behind the camera, but he acts the fool pregame and look at me. But Baker Mayfield has that attitude. You know what, man? I got 3 Super Bowls under my belt. It's my way or the highway. Watch me dominate. Come on, he has to be now. Again, are Browns fans already getting a little bit tired? Because if you have that bluster, man, you better be winning and winning at a big clip, and we're the next greatest thing. Because all through the offseason, they squawk so much in Cleveland, and now you're getting that bite back. And look, regardless of Richard Sherman shaking hands or not shaking hands, and making it a big deal, and all Baker's under the bus, dude, Baker brings it on himself everywhere he goes, man, everywhere.
Now, Baker's the worst, dude. I can't stand this kid. he's a shithead off the field. He just is. Is he starting to not look like Johnny Manziel a little bit?
He does. When you see does Baker Mayfield is like the dad bod of quarterbacks, isn't he? Little short, stumpy. Probably if he took his shirt off, might be chubby. I don't know, man. He just has that whole thing going about him.
He's skinny fat.
Yes, there you go. Good call. Yeah, dad bod quarterback.
I hate the kid. I think he's going to end up just like where we think he is. Donnie, these usually end badly, don't they?
What about how about some odd personalities? From Kyler Murray, who's really weird in front of the camera and answering questions. And
he's got no personality.
He's something it's funny. Don't you remember when he was going through if he was going to play baseball or football and national shows would bring him on and he'd embarrass himself because he was just awkward.
I remember Portnoy did a pizza review with him.
Oh, he did? Oh, my God. I got to watch that.
He got destroyed in the comments. This guy's so fucking boring. Don't ever have this guy on again. Someone's saying Perfect. I think Perfect is passionate, honestly. But
he's an idiot. He's an idiot on the field. Yeah, maybe they should do an AMA Reddit with Kyler Murray some other.
Oh, that would be so boring. It would be so boring. What about Donnie? What about for douchey? What about Jalen Ramsey? No.
I see. I don't mind it.
Buy him.
You know why you buy him? Not because you guys want him on the Eagles. No, you buy him because he's the best cornerback in the game. If Tom Brady was douchey, you'd be like, you know what? Hey, what am I going to do about it? You know what I mean? If you're really good at what you do, you can be a little douchey.
But the NFL has, at least right now, when you think about all the really good players, none of them are really douchey. All the quarterbacks are fine outside of Baker Mayfield. Mahomes a nice kid, Russell Wilson, Carson Wentz.
It's maybe because it's a humbling sport. You know what I mean?
Who I would pick, Donnie?
Who?
Ezekiel Elliott. That Ewok.
No, but his look is what's douchey. I don't really think Zeke is really douchey.
He's the worst with that.
I gotta. Did you see because when he was with his trainer was showing pictures of and I really wish.
And that shirt he wears.
Yeah, I wish I was rich because it would be so nice to have 19 prepared meals that are steak and shrimp, and you never have to cook anything. It's always right in front of your face when you want it. But Ezekiel Elliott, Jeff, is he not going to be 490 pounds when he quits football?
Yeah.
Man,
he's going to be I see it for sure. All right, one more, Donnie.
All right, let's do it.
Buy or sell. Okay, now I have a trade proposal for you. The Niners.
Yeah.
We were just talking about how, they're interesting. But I think the one concern, they don't have a big play receiver.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have that guy that you're just like salivating about that's going to make teams just concerned. There's Goodwin and Pettis. Like no one really worries about them. So I have a trade proposal for you.
Yeah.
Buy or sell. The newest 49er is Stephon Diggs.
I'm going to sell that because I think it is a good one. I think Minnesota's still going to be in the race. But getting to your point, in the offseason, Jeff, do you know where Odell Beckham Jr. wasn't going if he wasn't going to Cleveland? He was going to the San Francisco 49ers, but Cleveland had just a little bit sweeter of a deal. So you know what? Actually, it's not to say like, oh, well, they can't get him. I like the fact that Kyle Shanahan is a much younger version of Andy Reid when Andy Reid was so stubborn saying, we don't need an elite wide receiver in Philadelphia from 1999 to 2003. We're just going to run it by the system. And you couldn't get over the hump because you didn't have a dominant number one. He told you didn't need that. At least if you're the San Francisco 49ers management, they realize they would like to have an upgraded wide receiver. I think they do make an upgrade, but I don't think Diggs is going anywhere at this point. I think Minnesota's going to hold on to him.
I don't think you need him.
For who?
If you're Minnesota, what do you need?
Yeah, but it's the components, though. Like, Thielen is really good because Diggs does what Deshaun Jackson is supposed to do in Philadelphia. Mesa, oh, man, look how wide open Alshon is. Now, wait a second. Why is Alshon wide open? Because you can sit on everybody. Yeah.
If you were the Eagles, would you call them about Diggs? I would.
Well, they wouldn't trade him interconference like that because you're going to have to battle him. But if you're talking about saying, well, if Deshaun's down for IR and the Eagles got Diggs, isn't that like the perfect move to do? It would be amazing. Yes. You need a deep threat, and the Eagles can. You know what? We always get sidetracked sometimes, Jeff, but I go back over all the years, and I just like to look at the swings and misses at wide receiver to feel like, remember, like, 2 years ago? Oh, we don't need Deshaun. We got Shelton Gibson, man. He's going to take the top off of everything.
One of the worst.
And who was the kid from Cal? Who was the speedster from Cal that kept on being like they bring him up, put him back in the practice? Yes, my God, enough of this madness, man. Jeez.
Remember Paul Turner?
Oh, well, Paul Turner wasn't a burner guy, but everybody loved. Oh my
Everyone
God, you got to make the Hank Basket. I mean, we can't get anybody in town.
Billy McMullen.
Oh God, Reggie Brown.
Downtown Reggie Brown. Remember this guy? Man. Nay Brown.
Oh, Nay Brown, best hands, but just couldn't catch in the games. Jason Avant caught everything but fell down after every play.
L.J. Smith.
Todd Pinkston, James Thrash, Charles Johnson.
Warren Small.
My God, yes.
Irving Fryer was the man, though.
And he was old as hell. Wasn't even ours. And at least he worked out.
Christ, yeah, those were rough days, man. They failed. I'm telling you, they failed at two things with this team: receiver and corner. Jesus.
Like, you want a good offensive line, Eagles can usually sniff out some. Like, you want like some safeties, Eagles can sniff it out. You want quarterbacks, Eagles usually do a decent job at quarterbacks. But why is it so hard? It's not hard to find out. Like, every team in the NFL, Jeff, has good young wideouts. Like, oh my God, yes, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. He's going to be the man. Dude looks like a stiff, man. Mac Brown, look at him. Stiff.
Mac Hollins.
Yeah, Mac Hollins. I'm sorry. Yeah, Mac Brown.
Mac Brown ain't running no routes.
He's probably better than Mac Hollins.
Sean Higgs is saying Vince Papale. Vince Papale never played receiver, actually.
Yeah, he did play wide receiver, but he was
never played
wide receiver. He was a special teamer that if you were in like the preseason, he was running.
By the way, Vince Papale, that movie, one of the biggest frauds ever.
Oh, come on. Yeah, why do you like it? Stop.
He's not even from South Philly. He's from Delaware County. Their story's fake.
Jeff, there's a lot of people that say they're from South Philly that aren't really from South Philly.
But it's fake. I'm not saying he didn't live. Maybe he lived there, but they basically made it out like he grew up there and was like his dad lived there. He's from Delaware County.
Rosewood Bar, man. Yeah.
Yeah, they filmed it there. I remember when I lived there, they filmed it. Yeah. Would you take Dez Bryant?
No, old man. We need speed. We need speed, man.
Yeah. Damn. No Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant's has been. All right, Dan, before we get to the baseball picks, I want to throw out a future for everybody.
All right.
And I've mentioned this team. Donnie, remember a couple years ago I told you that Zion Williamson was going to Duke, and I told you to get on that future?
Yeah, we did. Yep.
It was a great number.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
This is a number that it might be different in places you go, but you're going to get 60 to 1 or higher wherever you go. Xavier. This number is way too high. I have Xavier as a top 18 team in the country. I think they're the best team in the Big East. I really mean that. And I know that Villanova will get all the credit because Villanova is Villanova. But again, I don't see it. Marquette, I like Marquette, but I don't love the rest of that team. I don't like their coach at all. This Xavier team is built for a run, and I'm going to tell you why. Donnie, you know those teams that they have those seasons where they decide that everyone's going to come back? They're going to take one more run.
Yes.
Wisconsin did it with Decker, Kaminsky, that team.
Yep. Florida did it back in the day when they won their second title. Yep.
Well, Xavier did that this year, okay? They're bringing back everybody. Quentin Gooden, Paul Scruggs, Najee Marshall, Tyreek Jones. They're all back. They have one of the best starting fives in the country. It's just that simple. They brought in Donnie. I know you know this guy. Played at Ohio. Jason Carter.
Yes.
16 and a half points.
Big white kid down low,
big
right?
White guy. Yeah, perfect. Kind of reminds you of some of those big boys they've had. Remember that kid, Donnie? Kenny, what was his last name? He got punched in that Cincinnati Xavier game.
Oh, broke up his head. He had a big white dude. Yeah.
He's not exactly big, but he's a tall kid. He can go out and shoot for you.
He's an athletic kid.
Yeah. They also grabbed another kid, Bryce Moore, out of Western Michigan, a kid that can play kind of a 2-3 for you, good shooter, solid rebounder, really kind of doing a do-it-all type of player. They have some good recruits coming in, and I'm going to tell you right now, Travis Steele, the coach, Chris Mack obviously moved on, but Steele is a disciple of Mack. I think he's going to have a big year. I think he's glimpsing to have a big season. And Donnie, you look at last year with Xavier, they had so many injuries. They always had someone out. Najee Marshall really with him in the lineup. They were just a different team. The final 6 games of the season, they won, I think, all 6 of the games. During that time, Marshall was key to their success. If everyone stays healthy, this team is going to make a deep run in March. They have the ability. They've done it before. To me, they're the best team that nobody's talking about in the country. I love that group coming back. This is a good defense. They can throw different defenses out at you. They can play, zone. They can play.
Can they win the Big East? You think they can win the Big East?
100%. Yeah. I think they will win the Big East, in fact. I think they're really good. I think they're really exciting. And they're, Donnie, cohesive. They have a lot of culture and chemistry. That is huge at the end of the season. You need all that stuff. And I love it. Also, Donnie, by the way, I want to plug this as well. For anyone that likes college hoops content, I have an Instagram now. It's only college basketball. I only do college basketball on it. Follow me on Instagram at the BMOC Hoops. It's all college hoops content. Not going to be anything else on there. So check that stuff out.
Not going to be any pictures of food and stuff?
Nope, none of that stuff. It's all going to be basketball. All right, Donnie, I know you wanted to get into Duke. Coach K was talking about this title, not title, the
likeness bill. Yeah. Yep. The likeness bill to California. Now, the reason I wanted to talk about it is because be careful what you guys are really wishing for, because the people that don't know, pay these kids. Get ready for what's going to happen. You guys out there, 90% of the public, and it's funny because the 10% that loves Duke is a very strong 10%, but it's a national 10%. I like 10% of like Pennsylvania. It's a huge following. And the people that go out there and say they hate Duke and they never want to see anything happen and this and that. So Coach K comes out and supports, says, all right, yeah, I like the pay-for-pay, but do you know what that's going to do, Jeff? Duke is going to get the number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 best players. Here's what's going to take place, right? Who has more of functional ability with American basketball and Nike than the Duke Blue Devils do? So what happens when the number 1 kid goes and you want to get paid for your name and likeness? And Krzyzewski goes, I'm the number 1 guy here at Nike. I get first dibs on this. Pay him $1 million, pay him $500,000, pay him $700,000, and we'll just give him like a fake shoe for the year. Be careful what you wish for, because if you think like, oh, everybody cheats now, wait till Duke has Nike's payroll to pay players just to go to Duke. You go, oh, why are they paying these kids? They ruin the sport. Get ready for it. It's coming. It's coming.
No, you're totally right. I mean, nobody has bigger branding than Duke.
Nope. And they got Nike, the deepest. Like, he has such affinity with Nike where he can just say, I'm the top dog here. I get mine first. You guys want the 20th player, and I'll let you guys at Nike pay that guy $50,000. The $1 million Zion, the next Zion that comes around, pay him $1 million. He's here. Oh, that's not going Duke's. Oh, I can't believe Duke can do that. Well, get ready for it. It's coming.
Yeah, I mean, of course he's okay with it.
Yeah, no, but again, if that's what it's going to be, and we can have fun, and people get angry that I didn't never see this was going to happen. This is exactly what happened. This doesn't no, you see, no, the blue bloods with the deep pockets and the ties to the shoe companies will rake everybody in. So we'll have 3 teams that can win it all every year, and everybody screaming and crying on the outside. I can't believe this ruined the sport.
Yeah, I pray this doesn't happen, but
Yep.
It looks like it's starting to happen. All right, Donnie, before we go today, baseball coming up. You got 2 Game 5s tonight.
Really?
Yep. You got the Dodgers and Nationals. You also have the Braves and Cardinals. For the Cardinals, Jack Flaherty, even though on SportsCenter this morning, Hunter Pence kept calling him Jack O'Flaherty. I don't know why.
Great. It's great commentary, man.
Atlanta going with Michael Fultonavich. Donnie, I know Atlanta's a good team. They have a lot of young players that people like.
Mm-hmm.
You're excited about maybe the future. I just don't think it's this year. I just don't. I like the Cardinals. I like the vets they have. I love Flaherty. I think the kid's terrific. Good young arm. Like their bullpen. Bullpen's been very good all year. But, Donnie, don't you just feel better going in a game like this where you have to win? Don't you just feel better with Ozuna, Goldschmidt, Yadier Molina,
and Flaherty,
Colton Wong? I mean, yeah, and then you have the young arm that can just get it done. I got to tell you, I love the Cardinals here. I really do. I think the Braves have a really solid future coming, and I'm excited, but it's all about the cards here for me, Donnie.
Yeah, no, I'll be on the same wavelength as you. I think we're going to take the better pitcher. It's tough to win in a home game environment like that, and it's Game 5. Anything can happen. All hands on deck. But
is it in Atlanta? And they don't go to games.
That's true. I mean, and again, like if Atlanta takes the loss tonight, I'll pour out a nice little scotch or whiskey, just trying to laugh at some of the people out here that rooted for Atlanta all the way and said, "Hey, yeah, you got an extra couple games out of your season. See you next year."
Yeah, it's like we know they're not good enough to win the entire thing. So it's like, and again, I mean, if I hear anyone tonight talking about they can't wait in Atlanta for this game, get the hell out of here. They don't care about baseball. They don't go to the game even if it's the World Series. It makes you think they're going to go to it for this.
They're already moved on to football, I thought, or the next Elsa. But that's Atlanta. I mean, they have a pretty bad run here of trying to make it to finals and win championships and just getting punched in the head. So it's going to continue, I guess, on.
Yeah, I'm also not running to bet on Mike Fultonavich, to be real honest with you.
How about Walker Buehler, Jeff? I
want to get to this other game. Yeah, Walker Buehler and Steven Strasburg. What a game this is going to be, right? I mean, do the Nationals not keep up their magic type season? How about they lose Bryce Harper and they get the last laugh? What a surprise. But those young guys, Soto and Trey Turner and all those kids, and they're terrific. You have Rendon, who's a savvy veteran, but I can't see them going out to LA and winning. It's a big number, though. You're getting a nice price on.
Yeah, but I guess what would you lean on? Like Walker Buehler, who maybe hasn't seen this pressure situation. He's still young, and Strasburg goes out there and throws a gem. It's a big ballpark. Runs going to be tough to come from.
Do you trust the Dodgers in the playoffs?
That's always a tough spot to be in, because if you're going to say like, hey, Washington had to really use Scherzer and Strasburg last game and they're running on fumes, dude, Strasburg's going to go 7 tonight, full gear, ready to let it rip. So this game's going to be a close one. I like the under. It's 7.
Yeah, under.
I like an under set, 4-1, 4-2 type final, 3-2. I can see it tonight.
I could see this game 1-1 in the 8th or 9th inning.
Yes, of course. I mean, because you're talking about a game also like Jeff is Strasburg, like. Everybody, like your best pitchers, starter, non-starters, or closers are coming into this game if it's close. That's advantage pitchers.
And if you're the Dodgers, let's say in the first inning or two, Buehler gets into trouble. You know who's coming in?
Clayton.
Exactly. But again,
bullpen. They got a better bullpen than Washington.
He's also not had the greatest playoff run either. Yeah. It's a tough one. I don't like this one as much as the other game. I do really like the Cardinals. I think that's a really solid play. But yeah, I'm not laying 175 in a playoff game. It's just that simple. Nope. Should be fun though to watch. These are kind of games you get into if you're an NM or a MLB guy. Hey, real quick, Donnie, before we go, I want to run a couple of these trade possibilities by you because Bill Barnwell did did a column on possible trades. So one of them he has for Jalen Ramsey. Kansas City sends a 2020 first-round pick, a 2021 first-round pick, and a 2021 fourth-round pick to the Jaguars for Ramsey in a 2020.
Who does now? Who's he? Who was it?
Kansas City.
Look, if you're Andy Reid, you're going all in. So I mean, I don't. Yeah, go ahead.
How about this one? The LA Rams send a 2020 first-round pick, a 2021 second, a 2022 second, and Marcus Peters for Jalen Ramsey.
No, I don't say it. By the way, Marcus Peters having a great year.
That's a big haul.
I'd rather send the other guy.
But if you're the Jags and the Rams give you that deal, how do you say no to that?
I don't know why the Jags are saying no. Like there's unless it's your franchise quarterback. If I'm getting like the equivalent of like 2 first-rounders and more, what are we talking about? Like because again, we're not at the point where we're saying, well, I got Jalen Ramsey for the next 3 years at $2 million. No. Jalen Ramsey is about to break the bank to be the highest paid cornerback of all time. And you can remove that. You have your young quarterback in Minshew. You can unload on draft capital the next couple of years. I don't know what Jacksonville's doing. And it's not like Jalen Ramsey saying, like, don't trade me. This is my favorite place to be. He wants out. Usually when a guy wants out, Jeff, you know what the other teams go? Hey, brother, I'll take him off your hand, fourth rounder. How about that?
Donnie, a disappointing signing for a bad team for the Jets was Tremaine Johnson, the cornerback. He has not played well for them.
Yep.
He also will likely not be back next year either. He's a guy that will likely be traded. Listen to this. And tell me this doesn't make sense. The Philadelphia Eagles will sign him, and he'll be a failure here as well. That's what I see happening. Keep an eye out for him. Maybe he just needs a change of scenery. Artie Burns, Donnie, a Steeler player that
Miami. Yeah.
They feel like maybe he could be moved, maybe go to Miami. We'll do one more. Melvin Gordon, Donnie. Buffalo sends a 2023 and TJ Yeldon for Melvin Gordon.
Oh, I'll do that in a second. You're so far under the cap in Buffalo, too. You can absorb that. And I don't know if you're saying, like, hey, well, I mean, look, Frank Gore's been great. Frank Gore is an old man. Sooner or later, Father Time's getting Frank Gore. What about a transition? Frank Gore to Melvin Gordon, right? Or Melvin Gordon comes in. He should take over for Frank Gore so Frank can stay healthy the rest of the season. I love it.
Yeah, I do as well. I'll tell you right now, if Buffalo signs Melvin Gordon, the Patriots better watch out. I'm just going to say that because they look real good in that game. I'll tell you. Just remember I told you.
I know.
Two more.
Until I see it, man. Go ahead. Yep.
2 more.
Yeah.
We talked about the Niners.
Yep.
How about A.J. Green?
He's on the ice. You know, I was going to bring that up the other day on one of our things. I saw A.J. Green maybe on the table for that's the move that puts you over the top. Why would you not? Again, Jeff.
Would you give up a first and a second?
Yes, I would do it. Because if you have your quarterback, the draft picks don't matter anymore. It's not like you're just sending like a first and a second into the abyss and like, well, I don't know who I'm getting back. No, you're getting a top 5 wide receiver, which is exactly what you need.
And
why would you not do it? Yes. It's not just a luxury. Like this could put you over the top as legitimate. If they get a healthy AJ Green, the 49ers are a Super Bowl contender, not an NFC West contender.
Trent Williams, he's not played at all. He's likely not going to play at all for the Redskins. How about Cleveland?
They gave up a lot of capital to get guys, but I guess
give up a first-round pick for Trent Williams.
Yes, they're so hard to a good tackle at what is he 30 years old? So you figure he's got 4 more years to go? Absolutely. I'm tired of people that say like because if you're a good football team, weigh this, Jeff. The 24th pick in the draft, is it worth Trent Williams? 100% it is.
Yeah, especially for a team that desperately needs it right now.
I think everybody's stigma with the first-round pick is, well, I don't want to give up it might be number 4. No. If you're a good football team and you give up a 1, you're basically giving up a second-round pick.
Yeah,
Come on, man. Jesus.
Which, and those guys are hit or miss.
And for a real bona fide football player, like is AJ Green going to go to San Francisco and be a bust? Does anybody think that? No way. Yeah,
totally agree. All right, guys, we're out of here. Great show. Really good info. Fun show as well. Talked a little food at the beginning. That's what you're going to get here. You're not going to get stale personalities that just talk about sports. And
we're not going to talk about some made-up story where me and Jeff walked into a book and we got thrown out. I mean, come on, man. We're not doing that here.
Oh, by the way, I got to talk about this before we go. I have to talk about this madness, okay? Bill Krakenberger. This guy is such a fake. I'm so sick of Bill Krakenberger. First of all, can Bill just admit he's a handicapping tout? I mean,
But he seems like a nice guy though, doesn't he?
No, he seems like a very nice guy.
Yes.
But I'll tell you right now, the stories are getting old. Bill, either come on and give us some info or shut up. I'm sick of the stories. I'm not respecting Bill because he's some new, I got to kowtow to Bill. So I see the story the other day that he goes on this podcast and he's talking about how he can't name the casino. Of course he can't name them because it doesn't exist. He's never done this. He goes into a casino and says he wanted to make a bet. So he places the bet and the bet's accepted. He goes and sits down and the pit guy comes back and goes,
manager, yeah.
The manager sportsbook goes back and says, hey, Bill, even though you're supposedly – now, keep in mind, Bill claims that he's the most influential bettor in Vegas. Mm-hmm. Somehow they didn't know who he was initially, but then once he made the bet, they got a call from someone who nobody knows who that someone is, just some eye in the sky that says, nope, no Bill. And Bill has basically said he can't bet there anymore.
No, but did you know what the actual story is on that? Because I think it's the one you retweeted on it. It was he went into a casino. It was like 10 minutes before the game. So obviously there's been teams warming up for an hour and he's not paying attention, but gets just some call out of nowhere that says Army's quarterback is out. Like he's the only one that knows. Nobody has ever known. First of all, he didn't know it either. It wasn't like he found it. Like somebody had to tell him about it. Yes.
Malcolm Perry for Navy.
Yeah, but we don't even know when this was. This could have been like 15 years ago, whatever. But again, there's no sides to the story, but I always get a kick out of it because me and Jeff could say, who would say this? Like, Jeff, last December, man, we went to Atlantic City. I was drinking a lot. And we went in, like me and Jeff put 1,000 apiece on the Eagles. And then we sat down and like, your business is no longer welcome here because we watch you guys on YouTube and you guys are sharp. And like, nobody would care about that story to begin with. And what's the big, like, I don't even get it. Is it add cred to you? Because no, it's not corroborated. It's not on tape. It's not on camera. Like me and Jeff, I could say like Jeff, Atlantic City just got gambling in like when I graduated college. Like I was friends with all the pit bosses. Nobody knows that. Nobody can corroborate it.
Here's one thing that Bill doesn't understand about sports betting, and he should listen to someone like me who's been able to try to kind of do it. People don't give a fuck about stories. Okay. The only people that care about stories are other people that are your age that reminisce about it. The guys that are in their 50s that wish they were 25 again. Those are the people that care. Guys like that watch shows like this, they don't give a fuck about stories. They want picks. They want info. They want trends. They want stuff that they can use and to make a better decision on games. Bill Krakenberger, unfortunately, just talks like nobody understands what he's saying. Nobody cares about your how you maybe said you spent. Like nobody cares about money. Like Spanky does it too. They talk about money that like nobody cares about. Like it just they need to. And Bill always has his website up in the top. Like Bill, we get it. You're a tout. Just come out and tell us you sell picks.
No,
it's very simple. All right, Donnie, we got to go. It's been about an hour and 7 minutes we've been on. By the way, for anyone that wants to jump on, I will be on tonight talking college football. I'll go over any game you want. We'll try to find some winners. That show is very well received. People like it. It's called the Mega Preview. We'll do it. So, yeah, if you want to join us for that, you can join me. Just check me out on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Donnie, anything before we go here?
No, I'm looking forward to the weekend, man. I got some work to do on a couple of these games. But, yeah, some of these lines out here, a little bit like saying, yeah. But then again, Jeff, if you just – who's the people? Aren't there counts out there that just say, hey, follow the money and fade the public? Yeah, good luck on that.
Yeah, don't look at injury reports. I'll be on tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern. Join me. I don't know if Donnie will be here. He doesn't seem to like college football. Maybe he'll be there to have some fun. I don't know. But I'll be here nonetheless. Make sure you join me. Everyone have a great night. We'll see you next time. And we'll be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock.